Hello and welcome to the Cybersecurity Insider episode 31. My name is Yigal Behar. I'm your host. Today we have a few items to talk about, and I prepared a bunch of papers here. And we're gonna start covering the some of the topics that are already discovered or spoke about those episode 30 about the Chrome update, urgent update. So a little bit more information about that. Um, so it's affecting Chrome and Edge vulnerability. Both of them, both companies, Microsoft and Google, issued the updates. Chrome actually, Google issued a quick fix, one update because the its severity. And apparently, I read somewhere it was says high, and they said on their website it's high, but some say it's high severity, zero day vulnerability. So I guess you can say it's a little bit more urgent than was assumed. And the flaw talks about VA JavaScript engine. So now they're giving us a little bit more information that could be exploited to cause crashes and possibly lead to code execution, meaning if you go on a website and you have a JavaScript and all websites that you visit, they're running different codes, different programs. One of them is JavaScript that can be run on any operating system. There's no limitation. You can use Chrome on Windows or Chrome on Apple or Chrome on Linux, which is the same. And JavaScript is being used there, and all the pages are being rendered on the web browser. And one of the engines is JavaScript, and apparently that can cause to different problems, anywhere from computer being crashed down up to the place where they can execute code on the computer, meaning they can do take take ownership on the computer. Uh, so the all the versions are apparently vulnerable. So if you have version 99 dot something, you need to update it to, it's going to be, the new version will be 100 dot something. So you need to go and update. Also, Microsoft has issued a patch for the Edge browser. So just make a habit to update your web browser as soon as you hear this message. Already posted a few days ago on my podcast number 30. So if you didn't see that one, you can go and see it. We also published a blog post on our website, so you can go and read it. I'll make sure to have it in my description of that video. So now we're going to move to the next item here with Sophos Firewall. Okay, so Sophos patches firewall vulnerability. Apparently, if you're using Sophos and any kind of firewall, and you need management capability, and some of us do enable web access in order to manage the Sophos firewall or any firewall for that matter. It doesn't matter if it's firewall, Sophos Firewall. And what the Sophos said, that this vulnerability addresses a critical authentication bypass vulnerability in its firewall products. All of them are affected by it, by this flaw, and it affects the user portal where users can log in to download, let's say, the SSL client or change password or whatever. They have the ability to go there, and also the web admin, which is more important probably because that through that portal you manage the firewall, and that if exploited, allow remote code execution. So this is it's an issue. So what should you do? You need to limit who can access that portal, meaning limit by IP. Probably this is one way. Another way is to allow only VPN access, and once you are VPN to the firewall, then you can manage the firewall. it's a little bit more complicated because then you need to VPN, and then after you VPN, now you can log in. And of course, you need to add the two-factor authentication. If you haven't done so, you should do that right away. And of course, patch the firewall now. In some instances, even in the Sophos Firewall, you have the capability to enable what it's called the apply hot fixes. Some people don't like to apply auto hot fixes because it can cause the system to not function well, and it's not feasible for them. So they disable it because they are afraid. So in our scenario these days, it's better to fail the system, meaning if you apply the patch, the system will stop functioning. It's better than having a vulnerability, and then that can lead to a full compromise. So it's better to be, let's say, false positive, but it's better to be wrong about it than being dead. So this is what it's recommended to do about the Sophos firewall vulnerability. VPN, and if you don't want to use the VPN, limit the access by IP, who can access that management. And of course, about the patches, it's better to restart the firewall in order to make sure that all the hot fixes were actually applied. Check if you have updates, update those over the weekend if you can, and then apply the patches, restart the firewall, making sure that everything is clean, and put some limitation to the web admin access. And let me turn the page, and we're going to switch to the next item, which is Okta Breach. So the more information is being revealed over time, and this goes with myself and everybody else in the industry said, okay, you should enable 2FA. Okay, it sounds very good. We want to enable more security. We want to have layered security, as I keep talking about it over and over. And apparently, this Okta breach done by Lapisos, this group of kids, so there are seven male suspect between 16 to 21. The leader is appeared to be 16 years old, and everybody said, okay, script kiddies are not exactly the who will do those attacks. It's more about the state sponsor attackers, cybercrime, people talking about those. But apparently those kids are again back on stage, I would say. And they actually use the same, appears to be that they use the same way how the SolarWinds happened, and bypassing multi-factor authentication. And with that, Okta failed to say that they are a victim to this attack until the group themselves showed, and I saw those pictures from the WhatsApp saying that I'm sorry, not WhatsApp, I think it's another program, the Telegram, I think, showing screenshots how they're speaking to the other people in the Okta cybersecurity department, and they said, why you're denying the attack? And they were forced actually to say they were attacked. So, and I visited Okta website, they said only 2.5% of the customers were affected, and it tends to be like about more than 350 customers that are using the Okta. And by the way, the Department of Justice is using this Okta solution, 2FA solution, and other companies are using Okta as their 2FA. So what exactly was the attack? How they bypassed the attack? They kept trying to access, so they got the username and password, obviously. And then now you need to provide the other factor. and some factors. For instance, on Microsoft, when you access the application, it automatically prompts, and then you approve with your button. Or, for instance, you put the code on the website, and so they did it a few times until somebody said, "Okay, I don't know, maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's me. I don't know. You know that you didn't ask for a request. Why you approve something that when you already authenticated? Why now you're gonna re-authenticate yourself?" And I think they use this, and this is how they call it, prompt bombing, different names. Uh, but this is something that, okay, so you already authenticated. Why you need to be re-authenticate yourself? You don't know what you're doing with your computer. And I guess people said, oh, maybe the system is looking for another authentication, the renew my authentication. So because my token on has expired, so now I need to re-authenticate. So this is how they approved it again. And after that, that's it. It's the end of the story, because now you approved the authentication request. Now you're in the system wherever you are, because it's 2FA is using in cloud, all the cloud applications. So so this is what happened. So educate your users about 2FA. Apparently now we need to talk about 2FA again. Educate users how to use 2FA. So another topic. Okay, let's switch gears to UPS. So probably not a lot of people know what is UPS. It's not the shipping company UPS. It talks about this box that sits in service rooms or under your desk, and it provides uninterruptible power supply. So the power supply from the grid goes offline. So computer shuts down automatically because nothing there to hold the computer up. So now you add the UPS. So the UPS sits between your computer and the power jack in the wall, right? So you lose the power, now you have a UPS. Now the UPS is the one that supply. Now it depends, different types of UPS. You have a online UPS that it's always online, meaning even if you unplug it, it's still running. It's really running the computer. Some of them they provide the power directly from the wall to the computer. But then if it detects a power failure, then it's going to come up and provide the power to the device. But those UPSs also have another connection. They have Ethernet connection, and you can connect it to the Ethernet, meaning to the internet, and then you can expose it to the internet. So apparently, what hackers now are trying to do is causing denial of service, if you will, and they're shutting down the UPS. And if you shut down the UPS, you shut down the power to whatever is connected to the UPS. So if you have multiple UPSs and you have few devices connected, so some of them won't be affected by it because you have one UPS. So maybe you have another UPS, and one UPS feeds this power supply, and this UPS feeds another power supply. So let's say you have a server, the server has two power supplies. So each power supply goes to a different UPS. So if one UPS fails, you still have power. But if those two UPSs are accessible from the internet, you shut down all of them. Now you lose all the you lose services. So of course, you need to segment your network, meaning connecting the UPS to another segment, so it's not going to be exposed or limited access. And then if you need to, VPN to it, and then have the ability to access the UPS. Another thing is everybody's leaving the default. So for instance, the APC, so it's APC username and the password is APC. Change those username and passwords. Why you keep the defaults? I don't understand. It's simple. It's easy. You just go to the users and you change at least the password. Don't keep the same. You want to keep the same username? Fine. But at least change the password from APC to something else. And then don't forget to update the firmware. APC or other vendors are issuing firmware updates, make sure to update to the latest firmware in order to prevent those kind of issues, one of those, and possibly providing better security, but also stability. Also to mention about those devices, they're using SNMP protocol in order to manage them and get alerts. Make sure to use configure securely the SNMP. We can go to more details about it. That's it with that. I mean, encryption, enable TLS, SSL, just enable something. Just do something. Really frustrated. Okay, 0 day. 0 day. Oh, yes, Apple. So this is going to be my last update for today. We're talking about Apple updates or fixes 0 days. So Apple has released software updates for Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, TV OS, and Watch OS. All of them are fixes to vulnerabilities that are being actively exploited. The iOS update also fixes a battery drain if you're using iPhone like me. Shame on me. So make sure to update your phone and your computer with the latest updates. Like today, I had a session with a customer and we had to update her computer. She had another issue. So I had to force her really to go and update the computer at home because who knows what's going to be. So with that, I conclude all my updates for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you want to ask something, make sure to email me. It's podcast@thecybersecurityinsider.com, podcast@thecybersecurity.com. And of course, it will be posted on YouTube. Now we are on Spotify. We are now on a few other channels like Apple Podcasting, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify. I said Amazon. Also, we're all also on Amazon. We are on what is that name? Oh, Player FM, iHeartRadio. Yeah, we're gonna come to Pandora also. What is that? Alexa as well. I mean, we have so many places to share our information and knowledge with you. We'll try to reach out to more people as we go. This is just the latest updates. Stay tuned because we have more updates coming. So I hope you enjoyed this session. This is Yigal Behar, your host, the Cybersecurity Insider. Please like, subscribe, watch other videos. Let us know what you think. Put your comments below here, anywhere. And thank you again for watching. This is Yigal Behar, the Cybersecurity Insider. Thank you. Enjoy your rest of your weekend.